Now it can stream instantly. Y'all could, of course, do the same with making a video instantly. Once again, now all the taskbar things shrunk again. It's OBS Studio. You converted into British. Yeah. It's OBS Studio. Dell AI PC. I would have rather got the MSI competitor instead of Dell AI PC. Always seems in the same family as that MSI competitor that would have AI tuningness. Specifically what it calls it, MSI engine or whatever. Of course, there's a handheld device that's of the same family as that laptop, and it too had that same feature. It's pretty dark. It's time to light things up a bit. I may as well slap that shortcut in the startup, so as soon as a competitor turns on, it'll start streaming. If I is the one who always streams, may as well make it stream as soon as the competitor turns on. It's perfectly good for streaming forever. Not that that's a bad thing, but yeah, it can now do that. You can literally stream forever, just like using OBS Studio. Now it needs an OBS killer function thingy-bobber. And then it should be all good. So anyways, however that works. I don't really need to just entirely get all the complicated details. It's time for that exe to be listed. So now I should of course test it. So it can kill OBS. Didn't work. Unless that's not the right one. Or that's where it pointed to. Maybe it doesn't need an OBS killer. As long as it has the one that streams, it's all good. Dell AI PC. So you create all them eggs. There's still all of those in there. Not all of them got dispensed yet. It's that slow now. however many eggies there'll possibly be now. I know the moral supports just push the Bonatin over there. So much for moral support, because they're a moral enemy now. Ah. My beds look buggy.
That's almost done now.
You know, the only text pack used is the cartoon text pack, and things are being weird. Oh, wow. This compiler is probably just ruined in more ways than one. It got overclocked, it got files dealt with and probably scrambled or something like that. It can't really be saved. I already tried reinstalling the game from scratch and it still did that.
Let the games begin.
So, well, at least I'll just replace this one with the 16-inch one. I will definitely never deal with all of that ever again in it.
Graphics bugged out for a second. Anatomy is lurking around.
The games are here now.
Moral support is in there with the anatomy. And you should remember the punishment. Well, it's the one who dies has to equip the suit. Anatomy really does stop them. He is really good at following. Of course, he ran away and hid, and then the anatomy followed him and somehow it didn't get him. It's possible to make them evade the anatomy if they try hard enough. No, make sure it's steamy. I'll export to the streams that they are completed. The Bonatin walking around as it is sure sounds a whole lot like it may or may not be acting exactly like in Consoleman's Raft. It's the scary anatomy games. I know the anatomy is right out there. And he can smell their blood that is about to come out of them when he shoots them with a gun. And they'll die. A little anatomy cam has point light graphics and it look good. He's out for their blood. You got an advantage now. Perhaps I should try not to look at it. Or make it tinier so it's ignorable. So it's there, but it's ignorably tiny. If it's dark, it'll be harder to see. Moral support, so it looks like a fiend. New shroom fiend. That's just like what they've done with the one place if you just break that wall there. Perhaps we should just make the window high so it won't be seen. One Mooey's all black, one's all white.
To disable shaders and then just minimize it so there's no anatomy cam.
I wonder if that counts.
It should not, since, well, they kind of just started and, well, obviously we were not ready. And Alex was the noob.
But now they should actually be ready to start the games. Let the games begin.
With coffee edition environment. For real now, if they die, the one who dies has to equip the suit.
And I already queued up 3 of them, with y'all having queued up 1.
Or 2. It would be 1, because, although technically when the punishment of dealing with the sack was then given to either one or both, since they both got nuked by the jelly beans. Or maybe it should only be for one of them. Scary anatomy, but he actually wanders around more. It needs to be darker. It's a little too bright. It should be twantity.
Its face keeps turning all black, so it turns black when looking at the noob. Well, things will just be really weird for right now.
Oh, can't forget this spooky music.
It's very unfortunate how this competitor had to face the fate that it did. At least it's getting replaced. And I will so take better care of it than what this one faced. And more being such a geek about making the performance change way too much. And maybe even if it has silent mode, maybe I should never actually use anything like it. Just stick with whatever it is as soon as I set it up.
Whatever settings it comes with out of the box, that's what we deal with.
So despite the idea that with it, over here it'll have those keys, and if I go, then not only those glow, keys like the P key or the R key would also glow like that. If I press it and the R, then it'll change the refresh rate. If I press it and the P, it'll change the performance mode. But also with it, there were more keys over there, like of course one that may indicate performance mode toggling. But maybe I will try to refrain from ever being too curious to try that out. But it's not overclocking though. That's the danger zone. And I fell for it with this one. Maybe for now, the microphone should be louder.
Again, if anatomy goes in there, it just gets them. It shouldn't count as if they're busy.
The games aren't really ready right now. Maybe they should reset again. Because we got too busy again. softy. Spookies. And the brightness should be 0. Oh yeah, they don't need a HUD because they're not really dealing with any item. There, it'll be more pure. That's even darker. Yeah, and that is for that camera. Yeah. Well, it's just pretty hard to really put it in a good enough spot for it to not be distracting. I should be thinking of immediate respawning. Looks like the anatomy along with their moral supports are just kind of stuck up there, of course, on the plates. We shall fix that and then for real they start. The games will begin. They also lose their moral support in the process. Right, no, not their moral support. Make them feel better. A really stressful situation. I look in the gaming videos, recommended videos, and one of them right off the bat mentions a man building their dream, ROGALLY competitor. They may or may not be the hand-holded one. Good thing I get Moppy Dream competitor. By the way, it was a competitor like that one down there. No, the ROG brand. No, unlike the console Minecraft anatomy will wander around way more than it has been. So they have to be more careful. Actually, try this time. This is the decoy, yeah. Hey look, it can't go through the door unlike the console Minecraft. No, they can't look at it while it looks at them, or else they get a bad dream scenario. We know the rules, like we should know the rules by now. To it in certain conditions, its face turns, then its head turns all black. It looks pretty fiendish. Spooky. And him, it's just fine. Scary anatomy. It could be anywhere while it wanders around more. Then they won't just face at where they look. It looks better. Scary decoy. Bathroom. Toilets. You have to bathe in those. It'll be one of those dreams. Even I had those dreams before. In the olden days, that is, and they were pretty yummy. Even for me. Or literally, because of how they ended. No wonder they ended the way they did. That's how yours need to be. They are gonna die. Therefore, they should avoid being shot by his gun. He's at the door now.
He would have went in there, got them. To hold their breath and not make a single sound. The Anatomy is trying to distract it. That's the decoy. Of course the decoy's dead. Oh no, he's at the door. Alex really needs to pee after that one. And he'll obviously watch. Why wouldn't you want to see it? Well, when they throw items, it's better than rock bag, but it handles. Scary hog is peeking its head through the door. Well, so there's that. It might as well be crispy bacon. Crispy bacon. If he was a teacher, he'd be Mr. Bacon. He should disable the click.og replacement, and it won't take long. Toilet paper. Without the paper part. Fresh out of the toilet while they've been recently used. They're soggy. Especially when one in there, well, it was all smelly again. After a whole day of them using it, it's very smelly, and your hand needs to go in there. Who knows if he isn't going to go in there? And not the noob looking normal. However, he doesn't look all custom. Looks like really being scared. He's dead. Dead. Steve dead. It's Alex's turn to temporarily die. Mode. There, he looks normal now. Now the Alex is the noob. It doesn't look right. There. He looks like his defaultness of it doesn't really matter. Anatomy is waiting for them to join. The Anatomy will stop moving when they're gone. Hopefully he doesn't disappear. It's all good now. Scary moral support made us jump. Always next to him. What is that? As long as I can remember,
Definitely only with this competitor I've ever noticed the hog looks normal. I thought it was part of that pack in that kind of the game, and apparently not. It's just this competitor's, well, very much ruined. As usual. The Hanatomi's in there. Good thing we know where it is. You can't be wimps and just barricade the door with their body forever. Because obviously they're gonna get bored of doing that. Act creative. That's why Anatomy wasn't attacking them. There's no other indication that they're not in survival. So maybe there needs to be a commando cube always setting them to survival or something. Or it could be something like an armor stand doing it, so that it's not a forever thing doing that to them. And if they want to access cave mode, they can always just murder the stand, pressing a plate, making them always be set to survival forever. They should just do that. Oh, and yep, that's yet another thing. It's still pretty persistent. That the commando cube will take very random animated textures. To him, they look normal. Now they look like the Calp cuboid. It's so irritating on the idea that this competitor had to feel kind of trashed in its lifetime. It was supposed to be the successor to the 15-ish one. Absolutely no more IO bit unlocker, no more better RTX, no more any of that. No more being careless, it needs to be treated better. We're going in. And for real, the games shall start. Maybe they should be allowed to exit there, since that's just kind of their miscellaneous zone of doing other things. The stand is findable anywhere. That's good for modern and scratch, so they can actually search for things there. Now they'll always be in survival. If they want to be in cative, they can always just murder the stand. Now it's on the streams to begin for real. It's almost real time. While off bids if normal, they're not buggy. Yeah. And now, before it starts, it needs to plug in. Yeah, I see that I found out that very much in quality of life making the competitor stream as soon as it turns on. He is not in survival mode. So the game mode thing is just saying that it's not working. If it's not working on old Stevie, it's probably not working on the old Stevie universe. We cough coffee edition. Should see if that works. It's probably at this point getting a little too slow now. Then Anatomy murdered the Snowy that was in there. Oh no. That's not good. Of course it's in there now. Alex is a dead. Wow, man. It was setting him to creative mode, that's why it seems like it wasn't doing anything. Alex is a dead. Wow, man. Ah. Alex is one dead. O-M-B-R-A-Y. John. She is one dead. A-M-B-R-A-Y. The giant. Either the Anatomy will wander away from them, or it'll go near them and they'll have to run for their lives. The stakes are high and they might lose their life. Party hard hard. With their agility, they can escape those bullets. They'll dodge very fast all the bullets from the gun. Guns make them die. They better be on their toes. Modern games, they'll detect them faster. He's probably somewhere in the living room. Ah, he's right there. Moral support opened the door. It's trying to snitch on them. It's also hiding there, not really being a decoy. Then the decoy goes over there to go check for them. Good decoy. Alex, so bad dream scenarios-ish. Although that sounds... Then goes in there with them. They can't look, or else they'll face a bad dream scenario. I don't know what's beside him. It likes looking at the noob, of course. Why wouldn't it like looking at specifically him? It has something for him. Then it goes back in there. For the most part, the coffee edition definitely feels like quite the successor of console in its wrapped as far as the way they move around and all that. How they won't stare at them forever when looking at the cloud. They'll actually stop looking at them, and another thing is they'll look at them while moving, which Rock Bed edition doesn't do. When Moby Maxes move, then they'll never look at the cloud, only when they stop moving. Eventually they have to try to go out there. But they don't want to be the one to get shot. Time to open the door. The decoy looks so bad a dream scenario-ish. As looking at the cooties. its very freaky looking face will give them the creeps. Then it goes in there. That may or may not have been with a noob was Oh no, they're dead now. He actually escaped. Meanwhile, Alex is dead. Wow, man. Oh no. It's probably too late to consider the idea of winning at this point. Alex might as well surrender to it. Maybe another thing it could do is it could make it so that there's an armor stand that says being teleported and then going down on webs for a long time, and then it would give them one free decoy. Looks so bad dream scenarios-ish. Who knows where that anatomy at it went out to go check. Because that's why the decoy is so useful. It looks very freaky. It looks so spooky. It makes their head hurt just looking at it. That's how spooky it looks. Then it goes over to the door to check. That's a good decoy. We're pretty safe now. Of course. Let's die again. Rawr, the rules are the rules. The rules are definitely, most certainly the rules. So now that that's that, he should now make the mechanism. You have to equip the suit. And also, Puffy! Good for you, then. Well, that's officially 4 losses now. Who knows how much more the Alex can take. Stand to them is of course long arms, but they can't pose it. Looks like maybe the stand is named. Their allowance of a decoy should be more rare. Well, obviously it saves their life. Should we add the punishment? Since I can't really think of anything at the moment. That loser has to make a video about the handies singing their ABCs and being outside and all that. It should now add that as the next punishment for the one who loses. Let's test it. Let's spam really fast. 21 decoys. Right there. At this point, it's probably extremely likely that Alex is going to be the loser for the 5th time around. That just sucks. Very weird. Just so unfortunate how it has to be so baggy, like random cube has random animated textures on its faces. I do not understand. Should be back right there again. Back to it then. Well, the show now, then the loser has to make a video of the handies singing their ABCs. There's a Steve over there. That might mean he wasn't spectating anatomy. Steve made a decoy now of him in a knit form, while the real one is not. Who knows where the anatomy ran off to? It's in the toilet now. Where you should be. You need to be in the toilet. Good thing something went in there before. And who knows what that might be. Pretty sure we all know. Can't hide that. That's very spooky. We'll repeat. You're about to get to yay, free decoy. That Alex is the noob. They get their free allowance of a decoy without them being ones doing it, which feels like cheating. So now they have to wait for a decoy, and they get 2 at a time. Oh wait, look, have to use them wisely. Lesson learned, the decoy goes all in, and they have to at least wait or be way more careful. And the noob. Maybe the HUD shouldn't hide anymore, because we don't get to see who the Slayer was. Now that Alex's face is off toggles for things. Alex is back again. They're so buggy. For some reason, the thing of position just shows forever. It can turn it off. Ill. Alex morphed back into the new bulls. Maybe if they die, then they do that. Isn't very fun. There really is no way to stop it. The decoy saved his life. I was feeling right, because the Alex is just about to become dead man again. And have the 5th failure. Alex gets a decoy to escape. Oh, and since it's coffee edition, I can use NBT daytadness and all that, so that they get the egg, but it'll create the snowman with a specific name or anything like that. I can give the snowman special properties, things like that. Since it's coffee edition, you can do things like that. Also, if there's something worth noting, is that maybe in that kind of wood spot, the boars can see them through the glass. So maybe they're definitely not safe being there. But at this point, who knows where the anatomy is? Yay, decoy. And of course, it's over there. Cootie Giver should use the decoy wisely and get out of sticky situations. Like a distraction. Ah. It's not even a good distraction. Also, the decoy doesn't seem like it's all that trustable to actually get the anatomy away. It's a delay his time it'll shoot to them. Now I actually went into there. Bathe in the toilet. We need to do. He's bathing in the toilet really hard and dirty. That's yummy. It's time to deploy a decoy. Probably Alex is the noob. And he looks normal again. Decoy looks very scary. Therefore, we don't need to see its really freaky, very nightmarish looking face. Also, if there's one thing about the console, it's very better than Rock Bed Edition, that they were able to turn backwards really fast and run for their life. Not having they turn slowly. Sadly, it turns super slowly. Says the poster of the robot that hugs humans. Decoy just got wasted. Tough luck, kid. Better up next time. Says fresh skadoodly do. Just needs to be something way lower. The decoy will watch their back. And he's dead. That's right, when the decoy is the one who hits the anatomy, it should be the time they run. So now they have to cower in there again. But he shouldn't barricade the door with his body. What he should be doing is hiding in the toilet. Nature, it's repeating command block tab. Let's see what the menus look like. Oh, buggy. Right off the bat, of course, the switch thingies are buggy. And you're hiding in the toilet was the ingenious way to hide from a scary gun, people. That's what you should do. You need to play in there and splash in there and have a lot of fun in more ways than one. That's quite the inspiration. But now it looks like finally all the eggs are getting dispensed after all that time. He's exposed. Now he's safe. All looking like that's doing it. Mr. University. Is it need and then that's the auto jump. Yay, decoy. Yay, toilet. Have to use them wisely, not waste them again. It takes that long to get one. And they have two, so they better use them only if they absolutely have to. Risky. Reels. Haha, we're going. They better not run right into a room that has anatomy in it. They were wasting electricity. They should be saving it. Scary pig jump scare. Crispy bacon jump scared of him. No, crispy bacon is a legend. Until turd in their lungs and make them smell the smell of turd forever. They'll make very gooey turd inside of their lungs. It'll be very ooey and gooey and slimy and mushy and stinky. That sounds like your Play-Doh, by the way. We're going next door. Again. We'll scout out the area. Make sure they're safe. It's on the move. Sounds like the anatomy's right that way. And here's how fast it'll shoot to them. If it's called that, or at least in its Coffee Edition's world, it could be literally called a decoy. Maybe we should do that real fast to make it it, but it be named decoy. At least it could, of course, also do it. So, for the time being, the death will not count. It's time to just make a little edit. And going in there, they can check the status of which they'll get their decoy. So I should give them it, but it be named decoy. That seems to reveal something like that. He should watch his back, or else the creeps will grab him from behind before he'll develop autophobia, which is totally not fun. A totally real fear, and he will have it the longer Alex isn't there with him. So the name of the item can be different from what it's called. And the decoy could have a speedy effect, so it won't be slow. And it'll dash around really fast and be very bad dreams-tastic. Sticky notes needs an update. It's very much his safe room for now. He really doesn't have to reveal the item name. Use that. Named it Beaver and Neato, it did. But it looks like it doesn't. So he doesn't feel lonely. E3 decoys. Just manually trigger it to see if it works. Yep, it did. No, it's fancy. That's what kind of color the name of it as it's physically there. If they saw its name, that is. Utility tools like that get to be used. Lucky all the coffee edition gets to be so advanced. Full of very special features to enhance the game. Make it really great. Oh, we didn't get that decoy fair and square. Although Alex did have a decoy to start off. But we're officially back in the games. And now the decoy looks more fancy. This actually tells them to use it wisely. And of course, the Boneton's right over there. Oh, not a good start. Luckily, he'll use a distraction method without the id part. It's right at his doorstep. It's waiting with its gun. Scary pig ran really fast. Wait, look, zooming really fast over there. It's crispy bacon.
Is trying
he
to
do that?
spook out to the Alex.
It's clearly winning. Then the Boneton's back out of the door again. Coffee edition would get to see the Boneton with its animation of using the bow. Just thinking about that idea that now this upcoming Thursday or even Wednesday I will have the 13, actually it's a 16-inch compiler. Hey look, another decoy. Yay.
Looks like they don't stack. It's because they have different properties.
Well, then that feels more like they're an individual item in their hand, which is kind of great. Instead of them stacking like some kind of a traditional item.
It could have been time for the Alex to go.
It's very inconvenient how my eyeball is doing the Bernie thing again. Alex has 2 decoys, but who knows if I can trust them at this point. Because the Alex failed 4 times, and the upcoming failure will be the 5th time. He's over there now. He just went this direction. The stakes are high and Alex might lose her life and go away. That's not a very good place to use the decoy. It instantly killed the decoy. Well, it's now or never. That was really close. Well, no, I deserve my much needed reward for the eyeballs. temporary company for now. They look kind of worried, because they are worried about their well-being. That was quite a close call. It was for Alex L-U-T-O-E-R. It's really bad dream scenarios-ish. Those decoys will spare them a lifetime. Nah, not again. Of course Alex died again. And now this time it was all the decoys' fault. Because decoy led the Boniton and they're with them. There goes the company. Middle column because of the scat words. This is way too hard. Maybe we should try to come up with another one for the robot again. Ones Robo gives are too out of reach. So it involves incredible things for issues. A lot of kids running around. The kids might draw attention of the anatomy. Maybe it should involve puffy vest. People. The armor stand was actually being hittable like a Moby Max. There's the anatomy with his gun. The next punishment should be the loser has to wear puffy vest for 1 hour. No anatomy and watch, because the Alexa is definitely going to be a dead woman for a 6th time now, I know. He's warping outside of the door. That could happen to them. Reserverishly, warp anatomy was there again. He might as well use his decoys. Oh no. Anatomy. There goes his decoy. What a sad day for his anatomy, like his decoy. He has to get out of there eventually. He can't hide forever. Really, how about this? We just jot all that down in a doc. Instead of it being just in messages, but hey look, another noob actually died. And Itomi was sneaking up on him like good. Them's the rules. Should pause.
Dylan messaged you.
Might as well make that have its own doc, at least for listing down the active punishments. There. Now it's been listed. Oh, and then there was the time when the noob been nuked by Jelly Bean, therefore hand go in toilet. Maybe that was one of the first of the punishments. Maybe it should have the doc's version of Pivgiz. The icon they're showing is some weird looking reindeer icon thing. Be so good as to know if that's a stranger, if that's your user at all. Because it looks like there's some kind of user viewing that doc, simply known as anonymous jackalope. Unless I would just maybe delete the doc just to be safe. Weird. Maybe it should copy all of that. It was also viewing that doc, unless that was my user for some reason showing as that. Maybe y'all should view it again and see. Well, now it's just normal again. Maybe I should just make a new doc again just to be safe. Because who knows who that was. So I set the doc to anyone with the link can view. This is probably a bad idea. Just now delete the link in there.
Messaged you.
Surely that was definitely a stranger. But the doc's deleted now. And it's made into a new one. For both, it should be brown. They don't need to name that Bonatin anymore. As long as it's in that doc, we'll know what the punishment is. There'd also be another kind of roar they can play around with that wouldn't be too easy. Perhaps there should be the axe kid word. Scary killer. Whether or not he'll be pretty hard to deal with threat now they got themselves a murderous axe skid word. Yay. So there are 2 new ones have been added. One is to the one who dies has to go out there and get a sack and bring it into their own room. The next one is to wash their hands with a toilet and not use soap. Scary killer wants both of them to die. No, he isn't a threat that'll shoot them with a gun. No, he's right there. They have a chance to run away now. He'll also be fast at them too. He doesn't fall for their decoys very much. He's too smart. He ain't falling for it. No, he just wasted it. He does not want to die. Scary killer wants him to die. He just can't escape. That sounds really similar to that competitor's fan. That's so believable. This is just a game, it sounds just like the competitor. Scary killer wants him to die. It wants you to do your punishment. Then he goes away. He can smell the Alex over there. I don't know. He's got nose. There goes Crispy Bacon. Yay, Chris Bacon. If he was a teacher, his name would be Mr. Bacon. There goes the scary killer. Crispy Bacon ran at him when the cave sound is heard. Then he ran away. There's the scary killer. The noob does not want to die. very wise to make the controller turn off in 10 minutes, depending on how long it gets unused every time I start using it again. Yeah, but when the controller's plugged in, then it won't go off. So at least it can charge up, and then once unplugged, then it will want to turn off. Yay, 7 decoys. Yeah, we are told to use them very wisely. No talon foolery, says him. Time to beware of that scary killer. Crispy bacon. Well, does that noise? Wild. Proceed to zoom out really fast. We don't hear the killer anywhere. Time to go looking for the killer. But he better not kill them. He knows where he possibly is now. He might be in the room of laundry. There he is in there. But he might also be in the toilet room. Notice how fast he'll run at them if he spots them. Hey, look, it's crispy bacon. He's struggling to get up there. They should not minimize coffee edition, because that's what's making it all be kind of like that. The killer is in the room of laundry. It should no longer be held at the top of the screen, overriding it. Beware of scary killer. Then he ran. We have to go see the killer out of curiosity. Curiosity is what killed the cat, by the way. Curiosity is what got the cat killed. There's a go around to go get him. He may or may not be more scary than the anatomy. Decoy time. I'll go get him. He looks very terrifying. They do. It's possibly that slow now. ad killer is right outside the door. And turn as if he could murder them through walls or through the door. It's very hot in there. Because of course they'd be sweaty if they're running for their lives. They're not just walking, they're running, and especially in pure fear, of course they're sweaty. Or sweaty is very huggable. We have to go see what killer is. We can't just be wimps and not do ad killer is right over there. It's time to go. Scary killer followed him again. They better not waste the electricity. There's another metal man again. Iron Man. On that kind of game, or specifically Coffee Edition, when the scat words are distress, then they'll make a metal man appear. It's go time. 90 boy spawners. Crispy bacon is really speedy. He may or may not be faster than Sonic. Of course, he can release gas from his butt and go as fast as a bullet. No wonder he's that fast. And smelly, too. Time to go find the scary killer. Old crispy bacon is their moral support. Surely it also would have been fun for them to do that activity, but at that one world of builds that had the tree house. Is starting to get tired of hearing that. It'd just be best to not hear anything for now. I know one thing. I'm grabbing pills, or I know what to hear now. Kill or might and get them if he is really far away. I guess not which one's better. Maybe that one's better. Here comes Crispy Bacon coming over to check on them. Although he looks, it would seem if we customized the oink and made it look like Crispy Bacon with his face and all that. Of course, he ran at the noob. What is that? Surely that would be quite genius to make Crispy Bacon add-on, make the oink look like him. make a custom model for the hog and make it look chunky and fat. Who knows at that point where the killer might be. He could be anywhere now. Well, that's why they have their decoys, because they'll go check themselves wherever the killer may be. There he is. They both ran into their own rooms. Oh no, we must escape through that way. We're safe for now, at least. If you better that way, there's only one way out. So if they go in there and he's in there with them, then they're dead meat. They'll look like dead meat to the soldier. They'll look like dead meat to soldier. They were wasting electricity, so they keep forgetting to turn off the lights. Scary killer is over there. He's right outside of the door. You could have murdered him. It's now his time to escape path. And of course the position thing keeps going on again. Wherever the idea even started with crispy bacon. Well, of course, it all started. We were at the one house in the Florida place, and I was making messages saying about the idea that you shouldn't name your pet pig Crispy Bacon. That's where his legacy started. Scary killer. Well, they're both dead. Like he says that. Well, they both died now. So all we both have to do a good punishment. Yup. Scary killer went in the toilet room and trapped him in there, and then of course he had to escape, so he got murdered too. Oh yeah, the first punishment was of course with the sack. Guess that's what we both do now. Next up is the one with toilet. That shouldn't count because he was already there. We must get away from him somehow now. They kept the ack on there. They're wasting electricity. They may be cold, but they can't be keeping the axe on.
Scary killer is over there. Time to go. Time to run as fast as he can. Scary killer wants them to die.
Maybe that's a safe place they could jump up there. Maybe if they ever had to, that could be a way. They may or may not be able to survive the killer. Theories in mind. And of course he's there.
Who knows?
Whatever shall Alex do now? His scary killer is right there.
Decoy, of course.
He insta-killed the decoy.
Poor decoy, he got into it.
We need an army of decoys. In there.
The decoys are serving them well.
We had to use 4 or 5 decoys to escape. They were still distracting the killer until now.
I'm hearing that.
It's too much sticking out. It's just such a giant competitor. I wanted it to stick out a bit more. Maybe we should combine 2 of those. Make them both be heard. But the idea of that being found is really great. They're quite lonely in there, so they need another spooky looking decoy. They look so bad in dream scenarios-ish.
Scary killer could be anywhere at that point. There's crispy bacon.
Wait, look at you.
Going that really fast. Of course, here to do that. There's the scary killer. He's kind of cornered.
The decoy's being mean and very bad. Well, we don't need a decoy because he's doing the Lex dirty by distracting the killer while he's right out there. Because why not? up there should maybe try copying that world and let all those clocks go free just to see what that would be like. While they hear that. It should be very much more distinguishable from the main world. Being in creative mode, so it's not very careful, it's just to see what would happen if all those clocks are now able to go free. We need to see what that would do. Now it's time to see they're going through.
They can't be wimps. She knows where to kill or at crispy bacon.
Seems like he wants to go in the bathroom, but he can't because he's crispy bacon. Of course he would enjoy the vibes of being at the Blue Fort house all alone. Because he's crispy bacon, of course he would totally do that.
May or may not have been better when there was the anatomy.
Anatomy.
Time to go all in. No scary killer might be in any of those rooms.
There goes crispy bacon.
If he gets over there.
He's using lots of gas to run out of gas. They're wearing him out of his gas. It takes a lot to move like that. Or they could try a new roar. But another good Earthlet I could do it with is none other than the explored houses, where there'd be more places instead of just only one. But if it was given to Coffee Edition, they could remake all of that there and have it all set up. Or maybe I wouldn't really need a Coffee Edition anymore, as long as they'd have the same setup but in the rock bed version. You could just at least do that. And so the scary killer is still lurking around in the darkness, vibing with that sound. Once again, he wasn't even spectating the scary killer. What that world is called the Timberland. Oh, it's just all a blank place. So the killer was just gone. This would be another service sound. Version 2 of it sounds kind of visually different. It's not the same link as the others. You know, the Robo version. gonna be good is to make the full capture of that going for as long as it possibly could. So it'd be more than just a simple looping of it if it was all fully extended from the very start to the very finish of the music.
At least there was that. It's the version from the one video that started it all. That sounds This is just the phone-ish version of it. Oh, it's just that. The original sounds. Sounds so plain compared to what we made it up to be nowadays. That's just so that music now. Looks like they fancied up the tube. The idea of it being really low quality, it'll make it run better with no performance costs at all. And the way that sounds, to hear it be more extended than what we normally get. Explore House's world was in the preview version. It's not the care forest of the place.
server. Did it use player dot Steve? Spooky Warped Forest biome is right there. Where that shit stays, since that place is around that zone. This to work. His realism pack with some vibrant sunlight graphics. It's the opposite. We made a doc that contains basically links to the kinds of videos that we have, that they could just be played as media and all that. look good to see that again. Let's possibly not. It'll make it look more appreciable now. Perhaps it's time to also get back that ray tracing packs. And boom, it'll all instantly be. Only glowy bits and bobs for now. Razor of all things being a leaked theme. So no wonder it is, because of all things about it. Also now with them being able to set them in them manually, they can name them anything we want with as long of a chat as possible. Whilst it looks like in the Mince Raft movie. Oh, what the next punishment is. Oh goody, your favorite. You should do it even when not them doing all that. Loaded, so. Spooky Soundscape game. That's what that game is now. So that will give quite a newly founded appreciation for vibrant visuals, even if it's only about the sunlight. Let's see how it goes now when the games takes place inside of that place. So the locator bar thingy should go off. Probably need to add all the functional things again. It would seem if they added biomes to every house's area. It's like to make one area all snowy biome-ish and netter biomes to some of them. Like that. Or even the spooky pale garden biome. It would seem if they did that to a whole place, like that whole world, with vibrant visuals, graphics, it gets to be all gray. All music won't play. At least for a world biome, other than something like snowy places, there's very functional all of that place that just simply makes the music's volume fade away. Or get a test run going to see what it's actually like to go all in there. That skeleton in there. See how fast it will shoot. Seems pretty easy to avoid. It's like being hard, or it could be a peak-hit word instead of a mountain. We will actually run at them with these up. Mountain definitely seems way too chill. If anything, it was harder coffee edition-ish than rock bed edition-ish.
Like in that kind of a game, they can't name the armor stand anymore. It has to be summoned.
You can enchant its bow, make it reload faster. Never see how it will be like. Then face off against him. He loaded already. But he's still pretty easy to avoid threats. As long as they just run around him, then they're kind of easy to avoid. But if they run in a straight line, then they're very much risking their death. Perhaps if you're ready, the games will restart now. Oh, and then because if they can lose him. Looks like they probably can't.
Because if all vibrant visuals is still affected by the brightness setting. Maybe it is. Yep, it is. Maybe not. It kind of looked like it was, but well, it's not.
It's so bright. And then it's so bright.
Looks like real life over there.
I'm definitely not used to the competitor's fullest brightness. No, I'm used to half the brightness. once again, they got 20 of them. So both versions of Minecraft really are equal. Once and for all of those clocks should just get murdered now. Definitely not manually, that will take for an eternity. Shit, it's just way too many clockers. We need to make more storage boxes because really it's definitely not enough. There's a lot of chicken. Fur chicken. That's enough storage boxes. And now it's finally time to murder all the chicken. Fur chicken. It's already way faster. Still more needs to again. It's very spooky and dark. Next one who the loser now has to first they wash their hands in toilet, which only sounds like a very ish punishment.
But it sounds like you want to do it clearly. He's still over there.
The idea of them having to use lights, but that's now what lights gets to look like. Ray tracing sure was great when we first discovered it.
The gamma being all the way up, it looked really bright. So that kind of game is equivalent to the console Mims Raft and all being 100. That doesn't look any less bad dream inducing.
Looks like their noses all stabbed them in the, well, of course, the eyeballs without the eye part. Two of them never moved since they were spawned to the ocean. Now I remember why. So in that pack, there's behaving packs in that world that make Snowman be player-ish. even want to move around. Now they do. One is really slow. He's moving. But he's going pretty slowly. And then he's going into the darkness over there. Running that slow. Oh, it's not for some reason. He just moved around really slowly now. Must have the slowness effect.